This is Gabriel Blythe, a survivor in the Salt Lake area, broadcasting to all frequencies.
And this is RQ, another survivor.
And I finally convinced RQ to answer some very personal questions.
Ooh, please, don't get me excited.
Our hundreds of adoring fans want to know everything about you, and I have all of those written down here, all the questions that they have sent in.
What are you even talking about?
You're always going on about the fact that this is a podcast, so I was kind of like making that joke of like it being a thing and like pretending that we have like this huge audience that reaches out to us. Stop looking at me like that. Can't I have some fun with this?
You know that raven that walks into the door every time I walk in?
Yeah?
I want to be very clear. The one that just goes head first and is probably dented the door?
Still, yeah, okay.
I think I'm going to name that one Gabe.
But he's the dumb... Oh. Harsh.
Ah, penny in the air.
Okay, so we talked about the rules. If I ask a question, I also have to answer. You also have to answer with more than one-worded answers. But, and here's the new caveat, you can skip a question altogether.
I accept these changes.
I am a benevolent king.
Viva la revolution.
Are you ready for your very first question?
Hardly. Now you answer.
Oh! That's the stupidest joke you have ever told. But yes, I am ready. Where were you born?
I was born in British Columbia.
Oh, very nice. I was born here in Utah, in my grandmother's home.
Yeah, that tracks. Your mother does sound like some sort of New Age type.
She loved her crystals.
Knew it.
Next, if you were born in British Columbia, where's your accent from?
Mostly my family. We moved around a lot, and the nannies that were brought on were straight from the homeland.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't have much of an accent.
You're kidding, right? You've never said the word for in your entire life, or mountain. It's always fur or the mountain. You almost swallow. You swallow the word mountain.
I mean, I guess. That's just the Utah accent, I guess, you know?
Meaning, an accent. Very good deduction. What's next?
So you came from money.
Wow, these are some terrible first date questions. I was expecting something more personal.
Like?
I don't know, so let's see if you make it past your questions first.
Are you flirting with me? 'Cause if you are, gross.
You know, I am just too good for you, I think. To answer your question, yes, I did come from money. Lots of money. Just stupid amounts of money. Just six generations.
I get it. Lots of money. You had money.
Point is, we had the finest schooling come to us. Never had to leave our homes. Everything catered to us, and the only times we ever actually left our home was to move to our summer home.
Why are you air quoting with the fingers for summer?
Well, simply put, there's the adage of keeping up with the Joneses. Mm-hmm. My father was very much happy to uproot everything to move into a bigger and grander home. If it wasn't a house, then it was some antique. He loved to show off with a gala here and a masquerade there. All things we were never allowed to attend.
Sounds isolating.
It wasn't so bad. But he was a fickle man and grew bored quickly. So we would move, or my brothers and I got to fight over some antique that he didn't care for.
I guess that's my turn to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it wasn't obvious, I did not come from money, although my mother saved a lot and made sure we were all well taken care of when she died. But I remember late nights eating cheap grilled cheese sandwiches. I mean, the bread was so cheap. You would reach into the bag, right? And as you would pull out a slice of bread...
Bread from a bag?
Oh, RQ, you hurt me. But as the bread would come from the bag, it would disintegrate before it even touched the air. We would make these bad grilled cheese sandwiches on this hot plate, powered by an extension cord plugged into a gas station. And we were worried whether it was the heat that was going to go next, or maybe the water. Sometimes, we would even have family meetings over what bill we should pay and what we thought was more important to keep. Lindsay would say heat because she didn't want to take cold showers. She never really did figure out the irony of her reasoning.
Now that sounds hard.
You get used to it. Plus, it taught me to be really frugal, right? Balance my books first, make sure I knew how much to live by much more comfortably than I did as a kid. I mean, at least I learned the value of a paycheck. Oh, wait. You don't know what a paycheck is, do you? So it's this thing... Ah! Ow! Fair enough.
You think you're so funny.
Raven, my dear, I know I am. All right, back to the questions. This one was sent in by Raven Queen Fan 54.
Why are you like this?
I don't think Raven Queen Fan 54 appreciates your tone. Anyways, they ask, what is your biggest regret in...
Skip.
Okay, you got it. What is your favorite color?
Aren't we a bit old to have a favorite color?
Well, I think that's one of the saddest things I have ever heard you say. Mine is purple.
You're 33, you know that, right?
And I am having a great time. Next! From one of our newest fans, Gabe_is_funny asks, were you in a relationship with someone before the end of the world? Ooh, Gabe_is_funny. You don't mince words, do you?
Kind of. I guess you could call it that. They were just some bloke and would stop by occasionally and we would chat and wrestle. And wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Let me clean up my language since I'm clearly talking to a child.
Do you miss him?
Easy there. Your answer?
Well, I don't...
Yeah, dumb question. With all your ace stuff, but... Were you close to someone? Body double or share space? Maybe a small connection?
Hard to answer, really. There was someone, Paul. They were really into plants. I feel like I mentioned them before. Paul was this person I spent a lot of time with. Really loved their horticulture.
What happened?
They were, I would say, emotionally shut off. I remember thinking they were more vulnerable with their plants. I wasn't jealous or anything, but I did want to know more about them. Who they were. What were their life goals? You know, the gross stuff.
Aww. Does that mean I'm your rebound? Oh, how sweet.
So what happened between you and your wrestling friend?
Well, nothing really. We would go through phases. Like gravity eventually, we would part and eventually be pulled back to each other. Then this all happened and... I'm sure he's just another out there. The world is a sadder place now, without his massive collection of cars, and how he used his cars.
I know what sex is. You can talk about sex. I won't explode if I hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm not a fan of card games doesn't mean I don't understand the rules and why people enjoy card games.
Yeah, but you're a 33-year-old child who still likes the color purple.
Just because I'm fun? Okay, I have some basic questions left.
Okay.
But those might be more boring, or should I say, childish. So, speed round. Your nod is heard for all the podcast listeners out there. Favorite film, book, song, season, and food.
Oh boy. Okay. 1963's Cleopatra really made me be aware of how bi I was. Sheer heart attack, best. Baseline, out there. I like being warm, so not winter. Beef Wellington, just one cook made it just right with the perfect flake, just to die for.
These are all exactly how I expected you to answer.
Well, don't be stingy.
Easy. Princess Bride, Little Women, Wayfaring Stranger. There's this one cover, makes me bawl every time. Autumn. Mostly because I enjoy the leaves crunching underneath my feet. And pizza.
You are so basic. Little Women, really?
Oh, man. When Beth gets sick, the first time I read it, I cried for a month.
All right, cry, baby. What else you got?
Here's a good one. Ever been arrested?
Once. And that's all I'll say.
Go on. What happened? Why? I have to know.
Skip. Haha.
Oh, I respect your decision, but no, I am insanely curious. Fine. I was arrested once. In the early days of the internet. You don't have to look at me like that. Yes, I was arrested once.
Did they mistake you for somebody else?
Let me explain.
Okay.
All right?
Sorry.
It's part of the rules. I have to give you the...
I apologize.
Thank you.
Please, pray tell.
In the early days of the internet, right? You could just find stuff. And it was really easy to ping another computer that was on the internet, just connected. There was no such thing as like antivirus or security, really. So sometimes I would just pop into another person's computer and print stuff off.
Like what?
I would use fancy characters to draw a little demon, and it would have a speech bubble, and it would say, "I will be back." Or at least that's the voice it was in my head.
But how does this lead to you being arrested?
Okay. One day, I found this computer that had just so many files, right? And like, think about it, early days of the internet, a lot of files means a lot of storage, and that was expensive back then, right? And just like now, I wanted to learn everything. So I figured I'd read them later, and I saved all of that to my own hard drive, or at least I started to. And within about 45 minutes of me signing off, about 20 or so cops came busting down my door. I was just this 12-year-old kid, home alone, and I had no clue what I had done. Apparently, I had found some federal server or something, and they booked me solid for 8 months.
You were just a kid. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause none of it was true!
I hate you so much.
Look at me. I couldn't do anything illegal until several weeks after the event, right? Plus, I hardly know my way around the basics of a computer. I had to read so many Computers for Idiots books just to get to the point where I'm at now with this stupid hard drive.
Goodness, well, had I known lying was on the table, my answers would have been way more entertaining.
Okay. This is my last one.
Okay.
It's a big one, though.
Oh, good. This will be over soon.
Shush. You're having fun and you know it.
Skip.
Raven, you said a few weeks ago that there was too much evidence to deny that there is a God. What is the evidence that made you a believer?
Well, that is a big one. Well, I guess...
You can skip.
No, I want to give you an answer. Just having a hard time finding the right words. Right, so you know about the Knights of the Round Table?
Yeah.
King Arthur days. Well, 2 of them were sent on a quest. Some debate it was to just get them away from the rest, but that's not important. The quest that was documented as their reason to leave was to find the...
I am so sorry to interrupt your fascinating history lesson. Give me a second here.
Yeah. What does it say?
We've decoded all of Eva's emails. All the way back to the beginning. Everything. Here, take a look. This right here is a map of all the random stops for that Project Endless. Here is this one. This is where Endless begins. King and Country. This is kind of cool. I feel like a spy.
So what does it say?
Here's the first email she sent to a few people. Good day, gentlemen. I am Brigadier Eva Schuster, head of the research dev team in the Royal Army. I am reaching out to you about a new project, an idea that I think could serve the betterment of mankind, something that will cure all forms of disease, AIDS, cancer, and even the common cold. I have reached out to you because I believe I can trust you with this request, with this goal. You have connections and favors that I believe can help me move towards the idea of a world that is no longer riddled with sickness and poor health. A world where people are strong from birth to death, achieving their goals without ever having an internal physical obstacle. I understand that this may be the last thing you wish. Why rid the world of something that makes you all money in one form or another? I wish to give you the idea why this will benefit you by asking you a simple question. How much of your budget is on sick days for your staff and employees? The money you lose from selling pills and snake oils is nothing to the money you would save by no longer offering private medical care or sick leave in any form. If any of this interests you, and you wish your name to be praised louder than Alexander Fleming or Madame Curie, then please read further. If you wish no part in this dangerous request, then please delete this email and never speak of what you've read so far.
She sounds dumber than you. She has a lot of faith in these strangers than you do.
Yeah. She hasn't thrown in a single curse or anything. Color me impressed. I wish to invite you into this project, which I am calling Project Endless, or Project Extended. RQ. This is something else. With a combination of a new weapon my team is creating called Project Ma that disperses chemicals, i.e. vaccines and viruses, over wide open areas, I believe I can combine the powers of Ma with another item, something that can cure anything. I need you. I am only reaching out to you because of your combined connections. Again, if you have any hesitation, delete this now, for you are now part of a treasonous plot, of which to steal the most holy item from under the crown's very nose. Signed, Brigadier Eva Schuster.
Well, go on.
I don't know if I can. This is everything I want, and yet I feel the end to all my questions are either going to be answered or not addressed at all.
You really happy with Schrodinger's resolution?
All of my answers are both here and not here. Besides, our generator doesn't have much battery left. We've been just gabbing away.
How long do you think before we are back to full power?
If we don't broadcast, a week?
Are you doing this on purpose?
I I wish I was. But we both have to wait. Let's shut it down. And the sooner we can get back, the sooner we do that, the sooner we can get back to see if there are any answers. Deal?
Okay, deal.